Welcome to At Home with the Hutchinsons, with me, Amelia, and...
I'm not used to not hosting. Me, Cameron, with a K.
We are going to talk about something that's quite time appropriate. So some people call them resolutions, some people call them visions, goals. We famously, every year between Christmas and New Year, appropriate name Twixmas, we always take some time to set our goals. And more recently, last year, I think we renamed it to visions.
Correct.
And it's a period of time where we look at what we did the previous year and we look at what we want to achieve in the following year. And it covers everything from health, fitness, to travel, to finances. And I think it's a really great thing that we've adopted. As you were just saying, actually, it's not something I did every year before I met you, but now we do, and we make it a point, and it's important to us that we do this. So
Yeah.
we're going to go into looking at that. Famously, New Year's resolutions are made around this time of year. However, I actually did some research into the statistics around New Year's resolutions, and whilst ours technically are not resolutions based, because we don't make them for the new year, we make them holistically and we check in on them throughout the year. New Year's resolutions are famously not kept up with. What percentage of New Year's resolutions do you think are kept in a year?
Kept.
Throughout the whole year.
So, like, I'm fat and I would like to get thin.
I'm going to go on a diet.
I'm going to go on a diet.
I'm going to exercise every day for 30 minutes, for example. That's not one of mine.
It should probably be one of mine. I'm probably going to say... I want to have faith in humanity, but 30%? 30% of people will follow through with their New Year's resolutions.
So the actual figures that I found were between 9 and 20% of New Year's resolutions are actually kept. And actually most of them, by February, how many have failed?
People don't even go through the... well, I mean, that my 30%'s knocked out of the water, so... Yeah, maybe 10.
80% of people have given up on
90%,
their New Year's resolutions by February.
So 90% of people are still fat.
80% of people
did not complete on their diet.
have not done that.
Wow.
So why...
Okay, but sorry, can I just interrupt?
Go.
All I'm going to ask there is, one, are they setting the right resolutions in the first place?
Okay, there we go.
And two, who's holding them accountable?
Exactly.
You know, have you put padlocks on the biscuit tin? Have you stopped buying biscuits? You know, have you bought some new running shoes? Because it's all well and good saying you want to go on a diet, but actually if you've not done the things to kind of, I mean, I don't want to be fattest because we're focusing too much on that, but maybe are you actually setting the right targets or goals in the first place? But anyway, you were going to say something.
I think that's where we have modified and reviewed and evaluated this technique over years, because we have some years set vision or goals that are totally unachievable. For example, last year I said I was going to learn a new skill on top of being pregnant, quite heavily pregnant with complications, and then having a new baby. At some point in 2023, I thought in 24 I was going to be 24 into 25, I thought I was going to be learning a new skill like playing the piano or something. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You can play Frere Jacques.
I can't even play that.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I think most people can play that on the piano.
I can't even play that. But the point is, it was totally unrealistic. And it just wasn't going to happen because I had other priorities. But some of the other targets that I had, for example, founding a village and, you know, learning about motherhood and making sure that I make connections with people, was something that I achieved really well.
Yeah, you aced on that.
And I think that you have to really weigh up actually what is important to me next year, what's been important to me this year. And actually I did read something a little while ago that said New Year's resolutions or goals or visions are better not if you say I'm going to exercise, 7 days a week, but actually what am I letting go of? So things that haven't served me, people, sounds awful, that maybe are draining you more than they are building you up. What are you letting go of to make space for new things? And I think that's really quite important at this time of year and for what we've done.
Yeah, agreed. Well, on that point then, we are also very good and have become better over the years at saying no more.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean we don't want invitations to things, because we do. but we might be more selective about the things that we actually say yes to and invest our time in, versus years ago we would just say yes to everything. And I think we've realized that we have not got an unlimited amount of time. We therefore have to invest it and carve out for the things which are important to us. As you said earlier, the people that are important to us, the events that are important to us, not just saying yes to everything. And I know I'm personally quite guilty of saying yes, and I'll come home and I'll be like, by the way, we're going here on this day, and what are you doing tomorrow? And we've not got any plans at the weekend. We have now.
Yeah.
And actually sometimes reining it back and saying, no, it feels good.
But also at this point in our lives, I have adopted the saying that it's just not our season. And that came from one of my very good friends. She just said, it's not your season to be saying yes to everything. And actually the things that you do and things you want to do and the people you want to see, make time for them. Yeah. And they're your yes people, and they're the things that we commit to.
But it is our season to raise a baby and enjoy our mortgage.
A lot. So we make it quite a big deal here. We have drinks, we have food, we have some nice time, music, and it's just generally become part of our ritual.
What, you mean weekends?
No,
Christmas?
No, the goal setting process.
Oh, right, okay.
The goal setting process.
Yes, yeah.
And we do everything from finance to work to lifestyle. And what's really nice for us, I think personally, is that I have my goals that relate to my business and my lifestyle, my health. You have yours for the same. And we have joint ones.
Yes.
And now, bless him, Gabriel has his own set of goals.
Yeah, but it's good.
It's great.
What's actually on Gabriel's? I have them here. I need to see.
There are the main milestones, so sitting, walking, putting decorations off the tree next year, those kind of things.
Baby sign, eating solids, playtime, experiences, holidays, nursery? As in going to a nursery or completing his nursery?
I think completing his nursery. That should
and then mobility.
Because he's not going to be.
Okay, I mean, they're quite high level. Are you prepared to share any of yours?
Yeah, a lot of mine this year have gone back to being business focused because I'm going back to work. And I'm really excited because I've got lots of new things in the pipeline, and although it's scary to think about going back to work, I'm managing to adapt it around Gabriel, and that's really nice. I don't think I've really got anything fitness-wise. I keep saying to people the diet starts in January, but I...
Well, you've said maintain healthy diet. May I?
Yeah.
I won't read them all. Or will I? I won't read them
No,
all.
they're all good. I'm proud of them, though.
Well, you just said that you haven't got anything for health, but you have said maintain a healthy diet. And, I'm gonna raise you up here. You do look incredible, having had a baby only 6.5 months ago. So,
thank you.
Kudos to you. You want to get back to Miss Mimi's, which is your
business,
your own business,
baby
tutoring
sign and tutoring.
Plus baby sign, yeah. You've put, I like this one. Overhaul wardrobe.
Yeah.
Mom 2.0.
I just feel like, and you've said the same actually, I think. You've upgraded yours as you've gone, so yours is not quite in dire straits as mine is. But I just put some stuff on now that I would have worn to one of my many yes events years ago, and I think, oh my goodness, it's just not going to get worn again. And it's a beautiful piece of clothing, and I love it, but it's just not me anymore. And I think that's okay.
No, I think that's okay.
It's not my season.
Yeah, I agree. You've also said you want to achieve a certain amount of money on a monthly income basis, which I think is good. You've said about exercising 3 times per week, but actually being specific in terms of yoga, steps and running. And then you've put gratitude here. Talk to me about, what does that mean?
I think that sometimes, whether it's a Dubai thing or a mum thing or just a life thing, as you get older, you get really quite busy, and maybe you don't stop to think, actually, we're in a really good position. We have a beautiful house, a beautiful baby who's healthy. We have a lovely housekeeper who makes our life 10 times easier. We have the opportunity to travel. I have the opportunity to build my business around our baby. And sometimes when you're running so fast to keep up with all of those things, you don't stop and actually think, I'm really lucky. And it's not until you stop and think, actually, what if I didn't have this, or what if there was a problem here, that you actually think, I need to probably just take a few minutes today and just think about what I'm grateful for. And I'm not going to say I'm going to write a gratitude journal, because I don't think that would be achievable for me, but I think just a few moments in the morning or the evening or whilst I'm driving, just thinking, actually, I'm really lucky because I feel very fortunate.
Yeah, well, we've engineered it as well. But yeah, I think that nicely links into one of mine then, which is meditation and gratitude. I want to practice that on a more regular basis because when you are at the coalface, it can feel like actually things are not so great.
Yeah.
But they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll rattle through some of mine. Basically, I want to run a half marathon with the view of running a marathon together because it's something that you've always wanted to do.
Yeah, I really want to run the London Marathon specifically.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I want to do it for charity. I want to do it for Dad. So
that's really nice, actually.
That's my goal. Maybe not this year. Maybe.
Okay then. But maybe a goal for 2027. But maybe we could do a half marathon this year with each other then. And then we've got some ones which are more materialistic based. We've got, again, earnings. We've got partnering with charity. And then we've got connecting with earth a little bit more and being a bit more mindful, being a bit more conscious about our decisions, etc. Can you explain, because I'm sure there's probably people, we know this, we've done it for years, but there will be people listening to this now that are like, okay, but what, you just write down your goals and then hope for the best? Like, what do we do and how do we actually go about achieving them?
Well, I think you have to start this process somewhere and it can be quite tricky. We've been doing it for a few years, so our starting point is generally, it sounds really methodical, but red, amber, green. You either achieved it or you didn't, or you started it.
Well, no, sorry, can we go back? Can we go right back, please?
When we used to do it on paper.
So
in our notebooks.
I wonder, we should have got one of our many notebooks.
Oh, they're in storage.
We will find
in a box somewhere. Yeah.
We
started doing it.
Started writing a list, and it was 10 goals. Yeah. I think actually it started off as 5. We would do 5 each. We would sign a piece of paper like a contract.
Yeah.
And we would just squirrel it away. And then at the end of the year, we'd go, oh, how many of your 5 did you do?
You say we would squirrel it away. We would. Now, however, we are more accountable for it. So we review it normally throughout the year. Because either we know we've hit something and we're like, I'm really proud of that. I've run a half marathon. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Or you just have to come back to it. Otherwise, you get 12 months in and you've not achieved anything. And actually, if I really wanted to learn a new skill, I have to start probably towards the beginning of the year. You can't start in November because it's almost like...
Well, you say that, but then my argument would be, but at least you started.
Yeah, you can. But if you've said you're going to do something, if it's a priority and it's your goal and your vision, it should be something that you want to invest time in and get started with.
Okay, so rewind right back. So we used to write it on a list. We used to have 5 goals. They were mostly materialistic.
They were, yeah.
New watch, go on holiday here, buy a new car.
There wasn't a lot of fitness, or it was unrealistic fitness things like we're not going to ever order takeaway or we're going to run every day or something that just wasn't achievable.
Well, there was one year we said we were going to give up Deliveroo. Hilarious. We didn't.
And InstaShop. That was the year before that.
We didn't do that. But that's what we used to do. And then over time, because what I'm trying to do is show an evolution of, we started with basic goal setting, and then we've moved more recently into vision, which is not vision boarding, because neither of us are really into that, but it's about having what do we want our life to look like in 2026 and beyond? What will we be happy with in 2025?
And I think that's where you start. So if you're somebody that doesn't do this, but you think, actually, that sounds like something I'd want to do, I think you start by looking at the previous year and you think, I really enjoyed that. I didn't enjoy that so much, and I felt great when I did this.
What brought me joy?
What brings you joy? What makes you feel happy, successful, and actually you want more of that in your life, ideally. That's where you start, and then you go forward. We are obviously slightly a few steps ahead of that because we've already done our last year's, and we have seen what we've thought about, and we're really realistic with it, I think, nowadays, because there is no point saying I'm going to run every day because I'm absolutely not going to do it. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, but I want to be clear that but saying that we're not trying to it makes it sound like we're not trying to overachieve, and actually there are still some things which are going to be quite tricky to get to,
very high level,
like increasing an additional revenue stream to a certain level, or purchasing an extra property. Those are things which to us are goals that are going to cost quite a lot of money, going to cost quite a lot of time, And I think where I need to go with that is to say that you can't just say, I'm going to buy a new house this year. Okay, well, how? What do you need? How much do you need to purchase? Have you done your research? And actually, there's a whole process which goes into buying another property.
Yeah.
But
it's about being realistic about it and knowing you can achieve that, but it's going to take a lot of work. So it's not about setting things that you can tick off by February and then lay back for the rest of the year. It's about setting things that you want to really do that will drive you forward in the direction that you want to go. But I think, there's got to be some high level things on there. Otherwise, there's no point having goals, I think.
No, of
your
course.
Your vision is meant to, in my opinion, up level you. It's meant to bring you up towards where you want to be going.
And beyond, to a level which maybe you've not really realised or achieved before.
And the nice thing about reflecting back on our goals now is there are some things that we've achieved that weren't on there. And that's also nice because you think, actually, I didn't achieve that, but I did achieve that, and that made me just as happy, or that's made me...
Well, that's a nice little segue then, isn't it? Because what I was going to say to you is what happens when you don't achieve something, or when you're evaluating throughout the year, you actually realise that maybe that thing you said you wanted at the beginning of the year is now oh my goodness. That thing at the beginning of the year is no longer now not important to you. It's no longer important. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But that's
because there will be times
that's why we review though. And I think this whole thing is this whole New Year's resolutions, I didn't meet it and that's the end of it, I'm not going to do anything. We don't do that. It's just it evolves and it changes throughout the year. And I think it's really good. And I think the way that I have mine, you have yours, and we have joint ones keeps us both accountable. The targets are realistic with a good level of stretch in there.
Well, as you say, we've now got effectively health, wealth, and what, lifestyle?
Lifestyle, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so 10 each.
I don't know the exact number.
There is.
Is there 10?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. In fact, there's 11 for me, 10 for you. Joint ones which we did not discuss, and then Gabriel has his own little 5, which is also quite cute. So, are you saying then that one of the plus points, or one of the ways that you can win during this process, is actually being quite dynamic and thinking to yourself throughout the year, okay, how far off am I? Am I getting close to that one? Therefore, have I got enough space in the tank to be able to add in another potential achievement?
I guess you could throughout the year, or you could, diversify if you've met something halfway and you want to change it, or if you don't want to do that particular process but you want to go on another one, then absolutely.
So question, of your vision that you had last year, how much of it on a percentage basis did you achieve versus not achieve?
I think 50%. I think there's a lot of red on my spreadsheet from last year.
Do you actually know the figure? Because of course I would have not asked the question without having the answer.
No, you obviously got the spreadsheet there. And we do it on a spreadsheet. It's called the game plan, and it has all of our life goals and everything on it.
Well, just in fact, before I give you the figure of what you achieved versus what you didn't, and vice versa, some of the tabs on there include our snagging list for our home, our vision for the years gone by, goals previous to that, alphabet dating, a wish list, a little black book, brands and sites, our net worth calculator, book club, podcast, and restaurants. So it isn't just a game plan for our vision. This basically
is our life game plan.
Our little Bible of life.
If it's not on the game plan,
if it's not on the game plan, it didn't happen. For you, for the guys at home, 60% of the things that you said you wanted to achieve, you actually did.
Okay.
So from writing these and evaluating these visions at the beginning of the year to the end, 60%. But you also had 30% extra that weren't on before, that you actually managed to achieve throughout the year in terms of actually building your village and, making more one friends, etc., which was fantastic. And not that it is a competition, but do you think I was higher or lower?
I think you were higher. I definitely think,
So I completed on 80% of the things that I said I was going to do. Failed miserably on 2, and we're halfway on.
Can I ask which 2 you failed on?
Yes, you can.
Because I actually don't remember, even though we did this
you can.
process a few days ago.
So it was the Run Half Marathon.
Okay, yeah.
And I did participate in quite a lot of running and fitness in 2025. Did I do enough? Did I do as much as I wanted to? No. And actually, I didn't run a half marathon, despite the fact that I actually did book one. I feel guilty now for admitting that, but it is what it is.
Don't feel guilty. It's about being dynamic and accepting that.
Yeah, agreed. And then the other one was more cosmetically based, and it was to do with my teeth, which just hasn't, because I decided to spend my money on baby stuff. Woohoo! But those are the things I didn't achieve. But again, is it about whether or not we did or we didn't achieve them? We've put them onto our 2026 vision, and we hope that we'll achieve them then.
So this was all about rituals, bringing it right back.
Mm-hmm.
What do we need to be doing with our materialistic stuff in the house?
You mean the fact that we are hoarders?
Huge hoarders.
Our
home is very tidy, but if you open the drawers, I can't tell you what you find.
No, I actually disagree. I think we've been together for a long time, 15 years, and over those 15 years, we've travelled to different places and we've amassed lots of possessions. Trinkets and artwork and antiques and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
But I would say this, we have a rule in our house, which we do try and stick to. If we have not used something in 6 months, then you should look to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Or re-gift it or donate it to charity or something like that. And of course, we're not talking about things like a Christmas tree, because of course you're going to not use a Christmas tree every 6 months.
No.
But, things that maybe you don't need, don't want. And those things could include, CDs, pieces of clothing.
The hi-fi that you have upstairs under the bed.
I'm never getting rid of that because it was my first hi-fi. Do people even know what a hi-fi is?
Can we get a picture of it?
It's my CD collection and my hi-fi. Back off. It's never leaving. Okay, and it sleeps with us every night on the drawer under the bed.
But I think that's the thing. We are quite sentimental, so we have to balance being sentimental by being practical because we don't have endless amounts of space. And that is something that also comes as part of the rituals. Not that we write down, but it is something that we try to do each year. Just go through and see what we're keeping, hoarding. What do we need? What don't we need?
Yeah, it's like a spring clean.
Yeah.
So if you see lots of things pop up on Facebook Marketplace, feel free to bid. Free collection. Maybe we'll deliver if you're close enough to us in Dubai. But I also think that it's an important way to make space for new things. You can't just constantly acquire things throughout your life. I think there needs to be some degree of exchange, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, well then my final question to you then is what are you most looking forward to getting rid of? And what is something that you don't want to get rid of, but I really want you to?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I'm looking forward to getting rid of your hi-fi, but you said that's never going. So that's just going to take up loads of space in our storage.
She stays.
I'm looking forward to getting rid of, and I'm quite a clothes-based person, but I think with my wardrobe overhaul and just looking at what we didn't pack for the UK and we've got masses of winter clothes, I'm looking forward to donating some clothes. I think that would be really, really cathartic. And if you had your way, you'd get rid of all the Christmas decorations.
I would. I really would.
Which
because they take up far too much space.
Because we collect them from all over the world. Our tree is amazing this year.
She's gone now.
What are you most looking forward to getting rid of?
Shoes. And I was shamed because I had a delivery the other day for a new pair of shoes, which were for work. They are for work. But Dalika, in her own way, shamed me by saying, another pair of shoes? Yes, another pair of shoes. I think
the slogan for these shoes was "Good things come in yellow boxes," and you were reading it out loud. So excited.
I was excited. I am excited. I think it's important to look good for work. But on that note, I do need to get rid of some because, close to 100, I'm sure. But anyway, let's end on a slightly different note.
Wrap up the rituals. So I think we've got a good thing going on with our rituals. If you would like to start your own vision or rituals for the year, then please drop us a message, because we have the template set up and ready to go. And if you're not sure where to start, this will really, really help you. And we'd love to get more people doing their vision, because we think it's really important and it keeps you accountable and drives you forward. And that's really, really important. So reach out to us, like, comment and share on this episode. And we look forward to seeing you again for the next episode.